Hello everyone. In this online lecture, we will discuss topic of refrigerator, how refrigerator works, and what are the different components of the refrigerator. First of all, we will discuss refrigerator. Refrigerator is definition of refrigerator. Refrigerator is device used for the refrigeration to maintain the system or a body at a temperature lower than its surrounding. Refrigerator is one of the device where refrigeration process take place. Refrigeration is one of the branch which deals with maintaining temperature less than atmospheric or surrounding temperature. The system maintained at lower temperature is called as a refrigeration system. The system maintained at lower temperature is called as a refrigerated system or refrigeration systems. There are generally two types of refrigeration systems: vapor compression system and vapor absorption systems. Now, how the refrigerator works and what are the different components of the refrigerator? This is the one of the schematic diagram of refrigerator. You see that there is at the bottom of the refrigerator backside there is a compressor is one of the important components that is also called as the heart of the refrigerator, which is fitted at the bottom backside. Compressor, condenser, expansion devices, evaporator or evaporator coils. These are the four important components of the refrigerator. This is vapor compression system. In case of vapor compression system, the compressor is one of the important component. We can see that is the heart of the refrigerator. In this system, the liquid refrigerant boils in the evaporator, which at low pressure by absorbing the latent heat. The vapor forms are condensed in condenser, which is high pressure, by rejecting the latent heat. In this vapor compression cycle, the heat is transferred in the form of sensible heat as well as latent heat, which can give the higher coefficient of performance. Evaporator coil, which is fitted inside the refrigerator. At the outer backside of the refrigerator there is a condenser coil. The heat is rejected by the condenser to the atmosphere. Expansion devices. We will discuss one by one how this refrigerator works. These are the four important components: compressor, condenser, expansion device, expansion valves. Working of refrigerator. Refrigerator works on the principle of thermodynamic cycles and second law of thermodynamics. Thermodynamic cycle is essentially a closed cycle in which working substance undergoes a series of processes and it always back to the initial states. The working substance in the refrigerator is called as a refrigerant. Refrigerant is one of the substance that reject the heat to the atmosphere during condensation process and absorbs the heat during evaporation process inside the refrigerated space or refrigerator, where in case of condenser the heat is rejected to the atmosphere and by using the evaporator heat is absorbed from the refrigerated space. The phase of the refrigerant may be the change. In vapor compression refrigeration system, refrigeration is obtained as the refrigerant evaporates by the absorbing latent heat of evaporation from evaporator or storage space, or it is called as a refrigerated space, and liquid refrigerant converted into vapor. In case of evaporator, the latent heat absorption of latent heat, phase change take place. In case of evaporator. The liquid refrigerant is converted into vapor form and this vapor is supplied to the compressor. Generally, hermetically sealed compressors are used for the refrigerator. The shape is hermetically shape of the compressor, and there is a motor is enclosed because of to avoid the leakage. This is inbuilt of the motor and the compressor components. There is to avoid the leakage of the refrigerant. Some of the refrigerant are costly, some of the refrigerant are toxic in nature. uh, that's why the hermetically sealed compressors are used for the refrigerator. After uh, evaporation take place, where phase change take place liquid into vapor, in case of evaporator coil, this vapor is supplied to the compressor, and again in compressor the pressure and temperature of the refrigerant is going to increase by the compression process, and high pressure high temperature vapor is supplied to the condenser. There are condenser coil is there. In condenser coil, the high pressure high temperature vapor refrigerant is supplied to the condenser coil, where latent heat of vaporization take place. The heat is rejected to the atmosphere, and the vapor is converted into liquid form. In case of condenser, the vapor is converted into liquid form because of there is a latent heat of vaporization take place, and after that is supplied to the uh, expansion device, where the pressure of the this liquid refrigerant is going to reduce. Some of the expansion device, maybe the capillary tubes are used, or expansion valves are used to reduce the pressure. That pressure may be the saturation pressure, and this low pressure liquid refrigerant supplied to the evaporator. Inside the evaporator, where it enters low pressure liquid refrigerant, this low pressure liquid refrigerant will absorb the heat of the refrigerated space, and the phase of the refrigerant is going to change. The liquid is converted into vapor form, and this vapor is supplied to the compressor. This is continuous cycle, that's why it is called as a vapor compression cycle. Now this how this cycle take place. Look this another schematic diagram. The high pressure side is the condenser side, and low pressure side is the evaporated side. In case of compressor, the superheated vapor is supplied to the condenser. Condensation process take place. The vapor is converted into saturated liquid, or maybe the subcooled liquid, that is supplied to the expansion device. In case of expansion device, the pressure is reduced, and this low pressure liquid refrigerant, or maybe some of the vapor mixture may be the contents. This liquid vapor is supplied to the evaporator. In case of evaporator, evaporation take place. Latent heat of refrigerant is actually the latent heat is absorbed from the refrigerated space. This liquid refrigerant is converted into vapor form. This vapor, after evaporation process, this liquid is converted into vapor form. This vapor is again supplied to the compressors. There are some another accessories are used for this refrigerators, such as controls, maybe the temperature controlling devices, filters,